In this video, I'm going to tell you what I would do if I was the CEO of Boeing Commercial Aircraft. So before looking through Boeing's aircraft and their product offering, it's important to consider the climate and the conditions and the environment that they operate in. Now, we've just been through a global pandemic which has shocked the aviation industry and completely decimated it. So it's important to take these factors into consideration. Long-haul flights and large aircraft have become unsustainable and airlines are dropping them. The likes of the A380 and the 747 have almost been completely removed from almost every single airline fleet. So going forward, the airline industry is still going to suffer for a long time to come, as people have found new ways to work with people overseas, and tourism has taken a serious knock and will take a long time to recover. International flights and the travel industry will take a long time to recoup the losses that it's faced over this global pandemic. So let's take a look at the type of markets that Boeing could operate in. I've created a simple business graph here with capacity on one side and range along the bottom. Now there's three markets we know and we talk about a lot. That's the short-haul market, the mid-market, and the long-haul market. But I want to just talk about the two markets that aren't really existed and no one really talks about them. There's the short-range, high-capacity market, and then there's the long-range, low-capacity market. Now, both of these markets have a problem, and that's why no airline or airline manufacturer makes aircrafts to fit into these markets. And the first one is the short-range, high-capacity market, and the reason is because economically it doesn't make sense to fly large aircraft over short distances. So what airlines prefer to do is they prefer to fly smaller aircraft more often, and that makes more economical sense. And the same goes for the long-range, low-capacity market. It doesn't make sense for airlines to fly small aircraft over long distances. They would rather fly fewer flights with larger aircraft. That makes more economical sense. So let's then look at these three markets, the short-haul, the mid-haul, and the long-haul market, and see how Boeing's products fit into each of these categories and where they could potentially develop a new product or enhance an existing product. So let's start with the easy one, the long-haul market. We all know that Boeing has the 747, the most popular aircraft in the skies, and this sort of fits into the ultra long haul. Right at the top of the graph is the 747, and as I've already said, the global pandemic has had a serious effect on these aircrafts in this category, and it's likely that we're not going to see more aircrafts hitting this market for quite a while now. And then still in the long-haul market, Boeing also offers the 777X, which is currently in development. They have the 777 already. The 777X is just a more enhanced version, a better product, more fuel efficient, and this fits nicely into the long-haul market and is a very competitive product. Then just below that, Boeing has the 787. Now most people think that the 787 fits into the mid-market, and it possibly does. The slightly smaller version of the 787, the 787-7, might sort of sneak into the mid-market. But if you really look at it, the range of the 787 is extreme, and it fits into the long-haul flights. The capacity might not be as large as the 777, but it's a really nice product, and it almost fits into that category that we were talking about earlier, that long-range, low-capacity market, although it still does have a great capacity between 250 passengers and 300. So it's a really nice product, and it's got a really great range, so it makes it a very effective aircraft for the market. Then the middle of the market. Now this is the one that everyone's been talking about and where they think Boeing could offer a new product. There's been a lot of talk about the 797, a new product to fit into the middle of the market that Boeing would be developing. Now the talk has been during the global pandemic that Boeing has put this on ice because of the issues that they've had with the 737 and also because of the slowdown in the market. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here with them, but there is definitely a gap in the middle of the market for a new product, Boeing used to offer the 757, which fitted perfectly into this market and was very effective. I still have some questions around whether the middle of the market is as big as people suggest it is. Now the short-haul product, Boeing's most popular product, the 737. Now Boeing are currently selling two versions of the 737. There's the 737 next generation, which is the 737-700, the 737-800, and the 737-900, and they've also developed the new 737, the 737 MAX, which has got the 737-7 and the 737-8 and the 737-9. So all in all, Boeing has a really competitive product market. It stretches all the way from the long haul. It hits some of the sections in the mid-market. We could arguably suggest that a longer range 737 could maybe sneak into the bottom end of that mid-range market. Then the 787 takes over from the top end of that mid-market and goes all the way up to the 777X. So it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of room for Boeing to make improvements in its product offering. And as most people would suggest, the 797 that fits into the middle of the market seems like the right solution. But I tend to disagree with the solution. I think Boeing has had a number of problems in the 737 market, and it hasn't just started with the 737 MAX. It's been something that's been ongoing for years, and Boeing seemed to have just completely ignored this. And the problem is this, is that the 737 was originally designed in the 1960s and hasn't been redesigned. They've just sort of made shift changes as the market has grown, and they've added bigger engines, which has created more and more problems, which is the problem that they're facing now with the 737 MAX is that the engines are actually extremely large for the type of aircraft and design that it actually has. Now Boeing's competition in the short-haul market is the A320, and the A320 is very effective, but remember the A320 was also built in the 90s, which makes it about 30 years old. And recent rumors suggest that Airbus has started considering redesigning the A320. Now this should really scare Boeing and should really give them some incentive to come up with a new product for the short-haul market that would be effective, because Airbus have really been effective at taking over market share in the short-haul market with the A320 and with their recent acquisition of the C series and the rebranding of the A220, which is something that Boeing doesn't compete in, that ultra short-haul market. So that's what I would do is, if I was the CEO of Boeing Aircraft, I would focus on the short-haul, redesign the 737, come up with a new product that's great for the market with some innovative new technologies. Let me know what you think about my idea, and tell me what you would do in the comments below. Tell me what you would do if you were the CEO of Boeing. Thanks for watching.